You're here because you're smart and, well, you're busy.
Yeah.
You want the edge, right? That distilled knowledge that gets you where you need to be uh, without wasting a single minute.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're laser focused on a challenge I think many of us face. How do you actually carve out an effective workout routine when time feels like, I don't know, a total luxury?
Exactly. Forget endless hours at the gym. We've sifted through a range of resources, really to bring you the core principles of efficient fitness.
Okay.
Think of this as your shortcut, sort of, to understanding how to maximize workouts when life just keeps you on the go.
And we've got a great mix to unpack here. We dove into a Quora query from busy professionals looking for workout wisdom. Now, we couldn't see the whole thread, but the questions themselves, pretty telling.
Yeah, definitely.
We also sweated through a Men's Health article. That one was packed with fat-burning exercise.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Plus, we tapped into the focused approach of Carbon Fit Lab. They're like experts in designing workouts for people with tight schedules.
Right, very specific.
And to round it out, we caught the introduction to the MedFit Care podcast, which really champions a smart, evidence-based approach to overall well-being.
So our mission here is pretty simple. Extract the absolute must-know strategies from all this stuff so you can build a workout routine that's, highly effective and incredibly time-conscious.
Right.
We're talking about unlocking the secrets to, say, fat burning and getting a full-body workout, even when your calendar looks completely relentless.
Okay, so the elephant in the room, right? For anyone with a packed schedule, it's the ticking clock. Carbon Fit Lab, they get this completely. They acknowledge fitting fitness into a demanding career can feel like, well, another full-time job.
It really is the central dilemma. And what's fascinating, I think, is how these different sources kind of converge on solutions that tackle this time crunch head on. Carbon Fit Lab, for instance, they're big proponents of high-intensity interval training, HIIT.
HIIT, yeah, it's such a buzzword, but what's the real deal? Like, how does it actually work for someone who's genuinely short on time?
Well, at its core, HIIT involves short, really intense bursts of exercise followed by brief recovery periods.
Okay.
What makes it so efficient and what Carbon Fit Lab really emphasizes is you can get a full body workout and tap into significant post-exercise calorie burn. That's the EPOC effect, the afterburn.
The afterburn.
And as little as, say, 20 to 30 minutes.
So it's not just about the calories you burn during the workout, it's what happens afterward, too.
Exactly.
And the great thing, according to Carbon Fit Lab, is you don't necessarily need a fancy gym setup. You can do this stuff at home, maybe in a park, pretty much anywhere.
Totally. That adaptability is just crucial for keeping consistent when your schedule inevitably throws curveballs.
Makes sense.
And building on this whole theme of maximizing every minute, Carbon Fit Lab also highlights full-body circuit training.
Circuit training. Okay, can you give us a mental picture? How does that work for someone busy?
Think of it like moving pretty seamlessly from one exercise straight to the next with very little rest in between.
Okay, keep moving.
Yeah, it keeps your heart rate elevated while engaging multiple muscle groups all at once. Carbon Fit Lab suggests a sequence like, squats, push-ups, pull-ups, lunges, planks, the classics. The beauty is you can cycle through a full circuit, hit all the major muscle groups efficiently in about 20 to 30 minutes again.
So again, that 20-30 minute sweet spot. It seems to be about being really strategic with your movements.
Yeah.
What else does Carbon Fit Lab suggest for packing a punch into a short workout?
They also really champion strength training that focuses on compound movements.
Compound movements?
Yeah, these are the exercises that work multiple muscle groups simultaneously. So think squats, deadlifts, bench presses, rows, the big lifts.
Gotcha.
The advantage here, beyond just saving time, is you get greater overall muscle engagement and a more significant hormonal response compared to, say, doing isolation exercises like curls.
Right, hitting multiple birds with one stone, essentially. And in terms of the time investment needed for this kind of strength training?
Carbon Fit Labs suggests you can get a highly effective strength workout hitting these big compound movements in under about 45 minutes.
Under 45, okay.
Yeah, it's a really smart way to build strength and muscle even when time is tight.
Okay, and then there's Tabata. That one always sounds intense.
Oh, it is intense, but incredibly time efficient. Carbon Fit Lab breaks it down as 20 seconds of maximum effort, followed by just 10 seconds of rest.
10 seconds of rest. That's barely enough time to catch your breath. So how long does a typical Tabata session actually last then?
You can complete a full Tabata workout in as little as 10 to 15 minutes. That's according to Carbon Fit Lab.
Wow, 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, and despite it being so short, it's a powerful tool for both fat burning and boosting your cardiovascular fitness.
So for those days when you genuinely feel like you have absolutely no time,
Oh,
a quick Tabata session could actually be a surprisingly effective option.
definitely. Worth considering.
Now, shifting gears just slightly, Carbon Fit Lab also touches on the timing of workouts. Is there an optimal time?
Yeah, they offer a very practical piece of advice, especially for busy professionals.
Yep.
Try to prioritize early morning or maybe lunchtime workouts.
Ah, okay. Why then specifically?
The rationale is pretty simple. These
Yeah.
times are often less likely to get sideswiped by unexpected work meetings or, personal life stuff popping up.
Sure.
By scheduling your workout, then you just increase the likelihood of actually doing it. And we all know consistency is absolutely paramount for results.
Makes perfect sense. Get it done before the day has a chance to derail you. Okay, now let's switch our focus to fat burning specifically, drawing from that Men's Health article. One of the first things they clarify is, well, while many of us aim to build muscle and lose fat, there's no magic exercise that targets fat in just one specific area, right?
That's such a really important point to understand. The Men's Health piece immediately tackles that myth of spot reduction.
Yeah.
You can't just do endless crunches and expect your belly fat to melt away. It doesn't work like that. Fat loss happens systemically, all over the body.
Right, the body decides where it sheds the fat from, not us, unfortunately. So what's the Men's Health perspective on how these exercises they recommend actually contribute to fat loss then?
Well, the article emphasizes that these specific exercises are high-calorie burners, which, helps create the necessary energy deficit for fat loss.
Okay, the deficit.
But, and this is key, they are very clear that exercise is only one piece of the puzzle. A well-managed diet is equally, maybe even more important for actually achieving those fat loss goals.
So it's definitely a two-pronged approach.
Yeah.
Effective exercise to burn calories and smart nutrition to manage your intake. They also touched on what to eat before a workout, especially for those high-intensity sessions, didn't they?
Yes, they explain that high-intensity activities primarily run on carbohydrates for fuel.
Right.
So they suggest consuming easily digestible carbs, think like a banana or maybe a small granola bar, roughly 15 minutes to an hour before your workout, just to ensure you have the energy to really push through.
Smart fueling strategy. Okay, let's dive into some of the specific fat-burning exercises Men's Health recommends. First up, the burpee. Definitely a love-hate relationship for many people.
Absolutely. The Men's Health Fitness editor really highlights its versatility. It's a body weight exercise that just torches calories.
Uh-huh.
They do stress, though, the importance of maintaining proper form, especially through your core and lower back, to avoid injuries. That's crucial.
Good point. Next on their list, running. Seems pretty basic, but what's their specific angle on its fat-burning benefits?
Well, they actually cite some data noting that an 83-kilo person, that's about 183 pounds, can burn around 336 calories in just 30 minutes of running.
Not bad for 30 minutes.
Right. The editor points out its accessibility. You just need shoes, basically, and the ability to sustain a pretty consistent intensity, which contributes significantly to the overall calorie burn. Plus, the mental health boost from getting outdoors. That shouldn't be overlooked either.
Definitely a mood booster as well.
Yeah.
What about skipping or jump rope? Is that just for the playground?
Not at all. The Men's Health editor calls it a highly affordable and pretty low-skill way to get similar calorie-burning results as maybe more expensive cardio machines.
Interesting.
They even suggest incorporating 30-second sprints followed by 30 seconds of rest for a really effective metabolic conditioning workout, basically improving how efficiently your body uses energy.
Skipping sprints sounds like a fun way to mix things up. What's next on their list? Battle ropes? Okay, those look like a serious full-body challenge.
Oh, they are. The article emphasizes that pretty much any exercise engaging multiple muscle groups is going to be a great fat burner, and battle ropes definitely fit that bill.
For sure.
The editor suggests focusing on maintaining high intensity during your work intervals. They even have a tip: use a stable object like a bench to whip the ropes over, which kind of forces you to maintain a consistent effort level.
Huh. That's a clever tip for staying accountable with the intensity.
Yeah.
Kettlebell swing's another really popular one. What's the Men's Health take on their fat-burning potential?
They highlight that kettlebell swings not only burn a significant number of calories, but also build power and strength in your lower body, your core, and even your grip.
Right.
The crucial form cue they emphasize, and this is important, is that it's a hip hinge movement driving from your glutes and hamstrings, not a squatting motion.
Hinge, not squat. Got it.
Yeah. And their recommendation: work towards completing 300 repetitions in as few sets as possible.
300 reps. That's a serious endurance test right there. Box jumps are next. Simple maybe, but effective for ramping up the intensity.
Exactly. Assuming you don't have any knee issues holding you back, box jumps are a fantastic, explosive exercise for increasing calorie burn.
Okay.
The editor does advise jumping onto the box, then stepping back down. It reduces the impact and minimizes the risk of overuse injuries, especially to the Achilles.
Smart injury prevention tip there. What about squat jumps then?
Yeah.
Similar benefits to box jumps.
Yes, they offer a great alternative, and the big plus is they're doable absolutely anywhere without any equipment. The focus should just be on landing softly, protect those joints, and aiming for a high jump to really maximize the intensity.
Okay, we're covering a lot of good ground here. Ski erg machines, you don't see them in every gym, but what's the story on their fat-burning effectiveness, according to Men's Health?
Well, the article again references that Harvard Health data, noting that the skier can actually burn even more calories in 30 minutes than running for that same 83-kilogram person we mentioned, something like 399 calories.
Wow, more than running.
Yeah. The editor praises its full body conditioning benefits and suggests varying your intensity, maybe alternating sprint intervals with longer, steadier duration intervals.
Good to know if you have access to one.
Yeah.
Okay, mountain climbers, a classic bodyweight exercise. Still a good option for fat burning.
Oh, absolutely. They're described as highly effective calorie killers. They seem simple, but they're definitely challenging when you perform them at a brisk pace.
Yeah, they get you breathing hard quickly.
Exactly. They're another fantastic bodyweight option you can just plug into any routine, anywhere, anytime.
Sled pushes, those look like a real grind. What's the benefit there?
They can be, but they're incredibly effective. The article points out you can kind of adjust the intensity, either push an unloaded sled really quickly for more of a metabolic cardio effect,
Okay.
or you can load it up with weight and push slower to build serious strength. Either way, you're burning a ton of calories.
Right.
And a big plus, especially for busy people, is they build strength without causing significant muscle soreness or damage, unlike, say, heavy negatives. They even suggest aiming for a regular 1-mile push.
A 1-mile sled push. That's some serious dedication.
Mm.
Okay, last but not least on their list, wall balls.
Yes, another fantastic full body exercise. Engages your legs, core, shoulders, arms, pretty much everything. For maximizing the fat burning aspect, the key is really maintaining a consistent pace and performing higher repetitions. Maybe using them as a finisher after your main strength workout.
Okay, so we have this really comprehensive list of fat-burning exercises from Men's Health. And earlier we had Carbon Fit Lab providing these like time-efficient workout structures. How can our listeners actually put these two things together effectively?
Yeah, that's where the synergy really comes in, doesn't it? Many of those exercises highlighted in Men's Health can be seamlessly integrated into the HIIT, the circuit training, and the Tabata protocols that Carbon Fit Lab recommends.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, for instance, burpees, mountain climbers, squat jumps, they're perfect for those high-intensity intervals in a HIE or a Tabata session.
Right, makes sense.
And things like kettlebell swings or wall balls could be really powerful components of a strength-focused circuit. You just swap them in.
So it's like having a toolkit of exercises you can just plug into these efficient workout frameworks depending on your goal for the day.
Exactly.
Now, we also had that quick glimpse into the MedFit Care podcast. What's the key message from their introduction that kind of ties into all of this discussion?
Well, their emphasis on evidence-based strategies for weight loss, fitness, and importantly, mental wellness, too. It really underscores the importance of taking a well-informed, holistic approach.
Holistic, yeah.
It's not just about randomly picking exercises you saw online. It's about understanding the principles behind why they work and integrating them into a plan that supports your overall health, not just, burning calories.
Absolutely. So to really bring it all together for our listeners, folks juggling those busy schedules, but still having fitness aspirations, what's the core message they should take away?
I think the central takeaway is that effective workouts genuinely don't require endless hours in the gym. By prioritizing these time-efficient methods like HIIT, like circuit training focusing on compound moves, and using things like Tabata, you can achieve significant fitness gains. And by strategically incorporating those high-calorie burning exercises we talked about, like the ones from Men's Health, you can effectively work towards your fat loss goals within that efficient structure.
And it all seems to circle back to that fundamental partnership, right? Between consistent, effective exercise and a really thoughtful approach to your nutrition. They truly go hand in hand for sustainable results.
Precisely. You can't really out-train a bad diet, as they say.
So true.
So maybe here's something for you to consider. Looking at all these time-saving, high-impact strategies and exercises we've discussed, how could you realistically integrate just one or maybe two of them into your routine this coming week?
Yeah.
What small targeted change might actually yield the biggest impact on your fitness goals, given the real constraints of your busy life? It's really about finding that leverage point, the minimal effective dose, the smallest input for the biggest output.